All right, there we go. Welcome back, everybody, to our second and final live stream of today. We are in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We'll be taking the Kitfox Series 5 STI. We are leaving from Peritola in Florence, and we're going to take off, and we're just going to kind of cruise around the city for a while, check out all these sites, and then we will land back here. So let's get in here and get started. We'll go ahead and forego the whole spiel so we can get in here and enjoy the flying, enjoy the scenery. So let's go ahead and do that. I think if anybody new shows up, we will just go ahead and give them the brief spiel. Semi-professional shenanigans, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, took a little bit longer, but sometimes that's just the way it is. But we're within tolerable levels of time. All right. Oh, I thought it almost seemed like we were on a runway there for a second. Oh, I know what I forgot. Let's try that again. There we go. That's better. All right, we're going to get an altitude dialed in. There we go. We'll go about 1,500 feet. Well, let's go 1,200. That way we can actually see everything. We'll get ready to depart here in just a moment, folks. All right, so we have a runway basically right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the ATC. I don't want my co-pilot talking to them at all. We're just going to go fly around and not be bothered. Hello again, Jody. We're not going to be bothered by anything. We're just going to go fly and it's fine. So, yeah, our little bush plane, it seemed like the most appropriate plane to fly in today. We just have a bit of a... So we're gonna... That's our first waypoint, or first point of interest is right there near the airfield. It's a stadium, it looks like. It looks like a football pitch, quite honestly. Come on, folks, come in and say hello. It's all good. You don't have to be shy. I see 4 of you lurking. Jody's the only one talking. What's up with that? All right, let's go do this. Shouldn't take very long for us to get in the air here. Look at that, it just took off on its own. Alright, so that's our first point of interest there. Oh, that's... Okay, hold on a second, folks. We're going to come back around this. I finally found what... This is an area of importance. But we'll come back to it when we come back into land. I'll tell you what this is right here. Yeah, we'll talk about that when we're coming into land. We'll come around and I'll tell you guys what that all is right there. I had to look it up. Doing my mission on SnowRunner, I try to do stream... Oh, okay. Fair enough, Jody. Hopefully it goes better this time. Yeah, that was a bit of a headache for you, I know. So we're just going to kind of level off here. So this looks like a, I guess almost like a running track. Looks like some kind of a, well, maybe that's a park, but it looks like there's like a track right there, like running or horses or something. Maybe it's a horse training facility. I don't know, but it looks interesting. I mean, yeah, I guess it could be a horse training facility because it looks like there's stables right there, possibly. So let's see, heading... Come back around here, folks. That was a golf club right there. Yeah. Well, hopefully it works out better this time, Jody. This thing, ooh, I did not gas up, did I? I totally forgot about that. We want to keep forgetting that kind of stuff. Let's just make sure we're fully tanked up. That way we don't have to worry about the fuel. Oh, there's like a, it's like a toll booth or something. Almost looks like stuff that you guys run into, Mick, when you're doing ETS or, yeah, European Truck Simulator. There we go. If we kind of fly up this river here. There we go. That should be good. We can kind of turn around and check things out as we go along. We'll stay right here at 1,200 feet. seems like the this thing has got a little bit more zip to it than normal. Like I cannot, it's like still wanting to get in the yellow. I can't get it to, I guess I really got to get off the throttle here. Okay, so there's the golf club right there. The golf club, Byron's it? I think that's what it says. And then there's that, looks like that horse racing training facility possibly. It's like real lines below us too. Possibly. Or is that streets? No, that looks like a railway. Yeah. There's another one. Arena Visarno? Arena Visarno. That looks like another kind of a track of some kind. It's very weird. Huh. What's this called? Giardino Communal? Huh. Interesting. Looks like another major train facility here. Looks like a lot of freight right there, possibly. Well, no, there's a major passenger station. That's what that is. There's the city of Florence, the Fortezza de Basso. Huh, interesting. Oh, we'll circle. Oh, look at that cathedral right there. The Piazza de Duomo? And that should be the... Where's going to show up? Cathedral of Santa Maria de Flore. Wow, look at that. That is massive. Wow. Giardino Delta Iridesca? Huh. Well, there's a stadium of some kind. Stadio Artemio Franchi? It's like a massive football facility, training facility maybe. I don't know if that's like a university maybe? Hello, Mick. Nice to see you. I'm just kind of checking out some of these little sites here. You know what, we'll just go through this valley and we'll come back around. Just kind of cruise down and then come back around. It's fine, we got time. You've got the time, we've got the beer. Parco Ansonella? Probably butchering these names because I really don't know how to speak Italian. So if anybody speaks Italian, I apologize in advance if I'm pronouncing things wrong. Yeah, we'll just kind of come up through here and then we'll just enjoy some of the scenery here. It doesn't have to be points of interest, just enjoy the view. There we go. We'll just come down here and hang out, and we'll zip back around and head back the way we came. Looks like there's some vineyards here. Not surprising. Italy does make some fantastic wine. Looks like we could maybe just come around there and come back towards where we were. Yeah, we'll do that. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out today. Hopefully you enjoyed the flight here around Italy. Hopefully you enjoyed the bit of train action earlier. There you go, Mick. Here's some farming area for you. Nice white Italian vineyard farming. You can make your own wine. You can have your own espresso or latte machine, and you could just sit there and drink lattes and watch the grapes grow. Maybe even grow olives. You can have olive oil too. Italy makes some really fantastic olive oil as well. You can have a little bit of both. That looks interesting. That looks like more train stations, possibly. We'll get over this and then we'll come back around there. Ooh, actually, let's go. No, we'll go around this way. I was going to try to squeeze through there, but I was like, maybe we'll just come through here. Come back. Kind of enjoy this little bit of scenery here, and we'll come back around into Florence and check out some more of the sights. Just enjoy a bit of the countryside here. So we'll be back tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, 11:30 UTC, 12:30 UK in the Junkers 52, continuing our flight to Indonesia, the former Dutch East Indies. Leg 13 coming up tomorrow. Baghdad to Abadan. Straight shot. We're not going to deviate. We're not turning. Once we take off and lock in on the VOR DME, we will just go. We have a 267 nautical mile flight tomorrow. So we've got a bit of flying ahead of us. All going to be all desert, of course. Hopefully some really interesting landscapes again. Oh, it's like a mountainside there or something. Wow, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable living right there. And it looks like this could all fall apart and come crumbling down on your house or something. And I also got to get flying in the Concorde. What I have to do is once I get ready for takeoff, I need to like pause during certain stages so I follow the plan accordingly. So. Hello, Captain. Oh, Oral 42. Welcome. Yep, we're just flying around Italy here. Florence. We just took off and we're coming back around into Florence here in a second. So, yeah. Having a nice scenic flight. Florence is over there. See some of the markers for our I want to try to squeeze right over that. Might have to go a little bit higher. There we go. There we are. There we go. That's what we just want to squeeze right through here. San Donato. Colina. It's like a little Italian village there. Somewhere very nice and quiet. Probably sit outside and have their coffee or something. Yeah, it looks like a lot of vineyards here. Boy, that doesn't look very good. Roadway's a bit wonky, but that's alright. Alright, there we are. We kind of come around full circle. So that area that we took off by, and we'll fly back over it again. It's named after a Italian carabiniere. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Basically, he was a police officer who took on a basically like a terrorist organization here in Florence, was killed in the line of duty. Well, he died in Milan, but the building that's named after him is like a training facility for officers. They're basically like they're police, but they're also military. It's like there's the police and there's the police military kind of thing. It's a very weird sort of dynamic, but that's the building is named after him. That's like their training area, barracks kind of thing. Anybody who's accepted, I guess they stay there. I guess like a police academy almost. But yeah, that's what it's named after him. Very interesting story. You know, there was a lot of corruption, it seems like, and all kinds of other things that he was fighting against, and yeah. So yeah, they were fighting against a lot of people who were trying to disrupt the Italian life. But when I looked at it, I was like, wonder what that. I had to find out, and it was a bit of research to figure out who he was and what that building represented. So it has like a parade ground, and yeah, that's where they folks who are accepted into that organization, they train and do everything like there, essentially, I think. But it's named after him. And the interesting thing was he was all set to retire, and then they created this like almost like an anti-terrorist police unit, and so he was one of the leading figures in the creation of that unit. And yeah, so very prominent person in the area, or in the in that sort of organization, I guess. So yeah, there's a really so there's another. Oh, that looks like a Plaza Santa. I can't really read it. Santa Cloco? Okay, Cookie? I'm not sure. Look at that. That is just in the size of that church. Wow. Plaza Santa Maria Novella. Wow. So yeah, a lot of little bridges here. We cannot fly under them. They're pretty low. Yeah, there's not much room to squeeze under there. Plaza PT? Who's that? We'll go down here and we'll turn around and come back and check that out. Yeah, a lot of very low bridges. I'd be hard pressed to try to get a plane under there for sure. It could probably be done, but it would be a bit of a be a bit of a. I'd have to practice it off stream before I'd even give it a go. Try to get back towards that other building. It looked almost like a, I don't know if it's like a governing or something, maybe. I mean, it's a very central building, it seems like. Plaza PT. That's it right there. Yeah, look at that. Like, it does seem like a very prominent building in the area. Look at that. I mean, it's got a very wide, almost like a area where a lot of people could stand. It looks like there's a garden right behind it. Forte de Belvedere. Wow, that looks like almost like a castle. Some kind. Look at that. This got to be a very prominent building. Because it's got like a very ornate garden right behind it. And then there's like this fort. So, yeah, interesting stuff. Practice on... No. I like to practice off just so that I can... Because otherwise what'll happen is it will just be a lot of crashes, and that's not really fun after a while. So no, but it doesn't really look like it, in some areas you can see very clearly a space between the bridge and the water, like you can, like, yeah, I could squeeze through there, but these seem very much not the case. And like, look at all the stuff underneath the bridge. It would almost be like there'd be a wall, even though there's not, but there would be like an artificial wall underneath. So yeah, no, it doesn't look like it's something where you could actually do it. It seems a bit closed off. So, but that's okay. Not every bridge can be flown under. So, no, I do try to practice. I practice what you guys don't really know, or folks really know, is that I do spend a lot of time trying to get to practice things so that when I do stream it, we're a bit, it doesn't look terrible, so no, I prefer to do that, because then it's like I feel a bit more comfortable doing things in the stream. So otherwise it's just going to get frustrating, and then I'm, yeah, it's not going to end well. So yeah, I'm still got to practice some more with the Concorde, for instance. I gotta, I got the plane started up, no problem. Now it's the takeoff and the climbing and stuff like that I got to do still to get better at that. So that we can get to 60,000 feet. We can cruise and go all the way, get to Mach 2, and get across the Atlantic to our destination, whether that would be JFK or Heathrow, whichever one we decide to go to. But yeah, I still gotta practice that a little bit more. So I wanted to actually do a whole flight first, you know, off stream, so that I can kind of feel comfortable with the controls and everything. One of the things that I was looking at, and I don't know if they fixed it, I got to do some research as well. There is supposed to be a way that you can engage like the auto engineer who will handle all the fuel if you want the engineer to do that. But the only way that you can circumvent it, because from what I understand, they still haven't instituted that. But if you have unlimited fuel on, then you don't have to worry about, I don't think you would have to worry about the gas being pumped to keep your center of gravity correct. So yeah, that's the only thing. But I got to figure out, because otherwise you have to, at certain points, you have to turn on some pumps, turn off other pumps, and you got to keep the fuel moving, I think, in order to keep the center of gravity in a tolerable level, so that the plane will be stable. So yeah, I have to, you know, feel a bit more comfortable about that, so that we don't want to crash or anything like that either. Yeah, look at that. I can imagine the train station here in Florence must be amazing. I mean, it looks like a lot of passenger platforms there, taking you to different parts of Italy, maybe. It's like one line goes out this way. Not sure where the destination would be, but it looks like it goes that way. Like there's a tunnel or something maybe, and then the rest comes through here. There's, looks like, oh, maintenance facility with a roundhouse. Look at that, a table there. Interesting. Very cool. So this is that building I was talking about right here. We'll turn a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. This is the one that's named after that Italian police officer that was killed in the line of duty fighting terrorist organizations here in Florence. Well, he died in Milan, so, but the building here is named after him. He wasn't fighting here in Florence, but yeah. So yeah, this is like their, I think, basically like their academy. Look at that. That is just, wow. Yeah, these all look like barracks, maybe, for the folks going through the training. Yeah. Wow. We'll fly over this way a little bit just to see what's over here. Our airport is right there where we took off. Very short. Look, that's a very long approach. Look at that. Not much of an airfield, really, but it's very long here. Huh. Interesting. Well, we'll just fly down this way for a little while, and then we'll come back around and we'll put it on the ground. We'll wrap things up. Get a little bit of flying in today just to see some sights. Sesto Florentino. I'm guessing this is a suburb of Florence. I'm guessing that's what that means. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was looking up, like when I saw the building when I was putting this flight together, or, you know, this trying to find some interesting places, and I saw that. What is that? And so yeah, I looked up the bit of the history of who it was named after. That's when I. So yeah, it's like a training, or organize. It's like the training for the same sort of officers that the organization that he was part of a long time ago. So yeah, very very well known, well revered sort of person here in northern Italy. Didn't even know who he was until I looked at the name, and I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense why they would name the school after him, or the facility, I should say, whatever you want to call it. A lot of toll roads, it looks like, here too. That if you're, I mean, look, there's toll there. There's all kinds of, like, you gotta stop and, yeah, very, huh. Zano. Did you come across the quarry? Which quarry? I'm not sure. I mean, that's it's kind of a vague description. I probably have flown over quarries. I don't really know because they're not labeled as points of interest, I don't think. So I may have. I'm not 100% sure. Because what I do is I turn on the POIs and then also the names of the cities or towns or whatever. So. Now this, of course, Italy was the last world update. Now, oh, so this week we're supposed to get another world update. Now I thought we would have known by now, but I don't think we're going to know until tomorrow what the next world update is for Tuesday. They're kind of keeping it quiet. Why? I don't know. It seems kind of foolish at this point. They might as well just say what it is. No, I don't really know why they make people wait. Oh, well, for me, it'll be Tuesday evening. It'll get released. For some people, it may be earlier. But for me, I won't see the update until Tuesday afternoon, I think. Or maybe late morning. It depends. It's very weird because you just never know. When, oh, okay. Oh, the Bethesda, yeah. Eh. Not, I don't know. Not very excited about all that. I mean, it just, you know. But so maybe they'll talk about it tonight. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, I'd rather know, ahead of time. That way we know what we're getting. And of course, the world update part is you don't have to download the world update. But the sim updates, yes. It's kind of like you don't have a choice. But the world update, yes. Yeah. I don't know. They'll probably link it, there'll be a few people who will link just that portion of the talk. Otherwise, it's going to be, I don't want to listen to the whole thing just to get to that part, so I'll catch up with it later today or tomorrow sometime. It's fine. I don't put a lot of stock in a lot of that stuff because it's very, yeah, it's mid-August now. They're still testing things because they're trying to make sure that they check everything extensively before they release it because Sim Update 9 was a hot mess. And so they push it out, and then they're trying to patch things, but I think Jorg said that they're going to spend more time between Sim Updates testing before they publish it. Because otherwise, it's just, it's always going to be an issue, so. Get a flighting, what does that mean? I'm not sure what that means. What does that mean? I've not heard of that. Oh, oh yes, I'm sure the public beta test will come in July then. Yeah. If it was coming out in July, we would probably be in the public beta now. So, but I think they're probably getting ready to do their public beta a week or so um, uh, after the sim update. But it'll probably be maybe 2 weeks after the sim or the world update. I mean, because it would seem like there would be a world update, and a week or two later would be the beta for the next sim update. So I would say pretty soon that should be open for testing. I think they want to try to spend as much time on the beta test as possible as well to get as much feedback, and then they will have more time fixing things based on that feedback, I think. So. But I'm curious to see what oh, okay. I've never heard of it called that either, but yeah. But yeah, it might be a Microsoft only sort of use of the word or whatever. Alright. Well, I think we've covered pretty much everything we can cover here, and there's not much else to see. I mean, really, I think there was only a few things that were added. The rest of it was already here, but there was a few things that were updated to ignore. Well, I don't know. I mean, it would be foolish of them to ignore stuff, but I mean, it's I don't know. It does seem like they ignore a lot, but I don't know. Alright, so we are going to come over our airports. But I mean, there is a lot for them to fix, so it's kind of like, what do they focus on, you know? So, yeah, it's a bit of a... I don't envy their position, because it seems no matter what they do, people are never happy. You know? And I think Jorg, again, has made very clear that people have been rather... their feedback is becoming very hateful, for lack of a better term, and I think it's wearing them out. You know, a person can only hear it for so long. Yeah, but the problem is that they're starting to take that talking shit basically they're taking it to heart, and it starts to wear a person down. And you know, at the end of the day, they are human. You know, they do make mistakes, and you know, it's just that's part of life. And I think they're trying to fix things as best as possible. You know, but they are, you know, they're starting to feel like people are just being outright hateful. You know, so. As much as people still say they love them, I think it's starting to show that they're starting to feel like that love is a bit well, I don't know how to say it. It's more than tough love. It's like very, like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. I think they're not feeling the love. Well, I mean, but Jorg basically said it, and I think a week or two ago that the feedback, they want to hear feedback, but when it becomes like a threat or wishing harm on people, then they're not going to listen to that. You know, that I think is where they're at now. They're starting to feel like the feedback is not productive. It's becoming very depressing. You know, and I saw it happen for some folks in the Train Sim World 2 community that were developers, that they would go into forums and they would just get so much hate that they were just like, they didn't want to, they were just like, I'm done. I don't want to even communicate with people now. You know, so that's the tricky part, is getting your point across in a meaningful way that allows them to understand, but not to the point that you are, you know, oh, you know, they should die or whatever. You know, that doesn't solve anything. And then they close off, and then they don't want to hear anything anymore, and that doesn't solve anything. You know, nothing gets fixed. So, you know, I don't envy their position in any of this, that they're trying, but it's like they're not trying enough, or that's what people feel, they're not doing enough. You know, so all right, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to land here. Oops. I don't want to climb, I want to turn without climbing. Thank you. Well, but after a while, like, what does people expect they're going to say? You know, a person can only take that for so long, and then it's just like it becomes a very toxic situation. You know, and that's where I think they're at now. They feel there's nothing much they can do to try to win people over or whatever. And the people who have left, they've left, but they're going to go in and stir up, you know, resentment and anger and whatever else, because that's what they do. You know, they don't offer much of anything else. Oops, turning a little too wide there. All right, we're going to put it on the ground. We'll park it. We'll call it a day. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed this flight. Nice, relaxing time. Well, but it's hard to separate that sometimes, Oral. That's the problem. Some people have a hard time separating those things, and so they lash out at whoever they think they can lash out at. That's the problem. Ooh, bit of a rough one. There we go. Ta-da. Alright. Let's taxi down here. About a specific thing, you report valid bugs and they send boilerplates about related topics as journalists. Yeah, I understand that. I mean, there's both sides have their valid points. You know, you feel like, you know, and I've done it before where I've logged something and then they're like, they send me something about PC and I'm like, but I'm on the Xbox. That's part of trying to get everybody on the same sheet of music. What happens on the PC side doesn't relate to the Xbox side necessarily, because we have two different file systems. So But I thank you. Appreciate that, Jody. So I do understand your point of view, but also I think there's got to be a more productive way to get things handled so that you can report and they look into it and say, okay, this is what we got to do, or this is what you should do to fix this problem, and so that it's conductive on both sides. But when it's not, for whatever reasons, whether it's the customer being very very blatantly hateful or anything like that in their complaint, or it's the feeling that your complaint is being ignored. Both sides are wrong, you know. But that's the problem, is that eventually people get all lumped into the same boat, and it doesn't solve anything. That's the trick, and that's what we want to get away from. I think that's what Asobo would like to get away from, or Microsoft, or whoever, and the customers should want to get away from that. But once people are so pissed off at the state of things, they're not going to hear, you know, whatever Jorg or anybody says anything reasonable. People are like, yeah, I'm not hearing it, you know. And that's, you know, some people may feel that they've been burned too many times or whatever. You know, it's just one of those unfortunate things, you know. But at the end of the day, nothing gets fixed. Well, yeah, I don't really know about AvSim. I've heard bits and pieces, but yeah, I don't know too much about it, so I can't really say what the what those are like. But you know, yeah, things could always be worse, I guess. All right, who's here to tell me where to park? Anybody? Anybody? There. Oh. Seems kind of weird. Oh, okay. I think I see what I gotta do here. I hope it will be. I am hopeful, but it's very hard to figure out what, you know, what are they going to be able to get it out in time, and with all the fixes that the Xbox folks have been waiting on, so that we can start getting more aircraft that are things that we've been wanting for some time. Okay. So, yeah, I'm hopeful, but I'm cautiously optimistic, because I kind of feel like they've bitten off more than they can chew, quite honestly. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope they're able to make it work. But we shall see. All right, there we are. Get that shut off. Get the fuels shut off. Let's go ahead and battery. Ta-da! Well, there we are. Oh, we got a landing at least, but we didn't get permission. We didn't get a takeoff. We didn't get credit for the takeoff, but that's okay. 49 minutes. That's not too bad. So that's an open wound on this. I'm going to say that. Yeah. I agree. I would like to see some more stuff. Oh, on a separate note, while we're waiting for the stream to catch up here on Twitch, and I'm not trying to name names or put people down. Somebody the other day was flying a DC-6, which is a very advanced plane in the sim. I mean, it's not something like this that you can jump in, get it started up, and you can take off and go. DC-6 is very advanced, kind of like the Concorde. You have to practice with it and get used to the very unique characteristics. And it's like, I'll give the person credit for giving it a go, but it was like they were so overwhelmed why things weren't working it's just like, well, maybe you shouldn't have flown this. You know, this is certainly one of those things that you should have done off stream, you know, that you should have practiced with it and gotten used to it, and then maybe ask questions to people. But it was like, well, I'm having trouble and I need everybody to stop what they're doing, kind of thing. And I'm just like, that's not very practical, you know. But yeah, exactly. And that's what people were recommending. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't, you know, give you credit for giving it a go, but you're clearly overwhelmed by the aircraft. But anyway, yeah, so stuff like that. I would like the DC-6 because I want to have that sort of, you know, complexity to get through and say, okay, at this point I got to do this, and you know, that sort of thing. But we'll see. Hopefully, but we'll see. Anyway, that is going to do it for today, folks. Greatly appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed the flight. Hopefully you enjoyed the trains earlier. I'm going to download the videos and get them going so we can get them up over on YouTube for tomorrow. So I will be back tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, 11:30 UTC, 12:30 UK, in the Junkers 52, continuing our flight to Indonesia, the former Dutch East Indies. It'll be leg 13 of 32, so we were very close to the halfway point. So a couple more flights and we'll be halfway there. So do join us tomorrow if you can. I have been and shall always be your host, Uncle B. I will see you all tomorrow. Do enjoy the rest of your Sunday morning, afternoon, evening, early Monday, depending on where you are in the world. Until then, peace, live long and prosper.